Well, hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my gorgeous, super smart, and the best family game show host in the world, wife Michelle.
Thank you, baby. Hi, everybody.
So good to have you with us. We are recording this episode actually on Saturday, February 1st, 2020. I know, it's a little odd. We're recording this a day earlier. We're still releasing it on Sunday, February 2nd, but we are actually up in Lake Arrowhead, California, visiting with our family, celebrating Christmas?
Of course.
Yeah, it makes total sense,
celebrate
right?
Christmas on February, for February 1st.
Right. It makes total sense, right? Now, we were actually, many of us were either out of the country or away for Christmas, so we didn't get to have our usual get-together that we have every year, so we kind of compared schedules and finally came up with a weekend we could all get together, and so Merry Christmas, everybody!
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, thank you for joining us up here today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventuresPodcast.com. And while you're there, why don't you just take a moment and sign up for the newsletter?
That's right. And thank you for those of you who have done that already. And we hope you're enjoying the newsletter. And we appreciate the interactions we get to have with you.
Yes, it's the best way to find out about our show, what the most recent episodes are, what we have coming up. We're going to have some other stuff as far as like giveaways and possibly some meetups, just any news about our show. It's the best and the first way to find us. The other way to find us is on social media. We are very active on social media, and you can follow us there on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, you can always email us at HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
Right. And we really appreciate the shout outs, and we especially appreciate the feedback we get in reviews. And if you get a chance to give us a star rating, and most importantly, tell a friend.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. Just tell a friend that you found this show that you kind of enjoy. You think they might enjoy it too. That is the word of mouth is the best way to share any podcast, but especially this one. However, we did get a new review this week. We really appreciate reviews, and we got a really wonderful one this week. It was titled Disney-tastic Podcast. It says, only found this podcast a few days ago, and the podcast just flows so well and plenty of laughs. Lots of different subjects to listen to, and their own funky newsletter too. See, the newsletter. Very Disney-friendly, but more importantly, fun and family-friendly. Great job, guys. This is from Vinto Man out of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So thank you for those abroad
awesome. Thank you.
that are even listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Vinto Man, for the wonderful, wonderful, and really sweet review.
Absolutely. We're really touched by that, and we're glad you're enjoying it. And, you know, we enjoy that we got that feedback, even the funky newsletter. I like that.
I like our newsletter. It's the funky newsletter. I put it together every week. I don't know how funky it is, but I appreciate that you think it is.
Yeah, I love it.
It's fun. I know that. But.
So
cool. So we have lots of stuff for you today, including if you've ever hoped to get a chance to see Spider-Man swinging through the air in real life. Well, we have some good news for you. A Disney Cruise Line chef receives a well-deserved honor. We'll talk a little bit about that. And speaking of Disney Cruise, if you're planning on sailing on the Disney Magic in the future, you have a little more chance for a little more luxury when you're sailing. We'll talk about that as well. But before we get to our main subject of the day, we want to talk a little bit about something that kind of ties into last week's episode where we were talking about Disney in the 80s. Right. We went during the week to Disneyland After Dark 80s night and had a really, really good time.
Yeah, I mean, they really had a great setup with a lot of wonderful music throughout the park, throughout Disneyland Park. They had some, kind of time period food that were some of the offerings, but what was really spectacular too, visually, how they had buildings lit up. They had laser shows on, Small World area there and Matterhorn Castle. It was beautiful.
Yeah, lots of projections up and down the Matterhorn, the castle, up and down Main Street. It's a small world. Really cool. The interesting thing about this one, and I think we thought there were a lot of dancing going on when we went to Disneyland After Dark 90s night last year. There were a ton of people dancing throughout the park this time. The 80s music going everywhere. They had a DJ in front of the castle. They had Totally Mini going on in Tomorrowland, over in Frontierland in New Orleans Square on the Rivers of America. They had one of the Tom Sawyer rafts with an 80s band playing, and they would just kind of go up or down the river right there in front and play. And then over at the Fantasyland Theater, they had Videopolis, which was a throwback to something they used to do way back in the 80s at Disneyland, where they had videos playing, they had a DJ, and lots of people were really getting down over there.
Yeah, people really were. And people really got into the attire and everything, and it was so much fun seeing people so happy and interactive in those ways.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this is, because we've been to several of these Disneyland After Dark evenings recently, and they've all kind of been a little different in how they lay out. A lot of times there'll be people lined up for attractions, for some of the photo ops. There's a lot of people lined up, definitely for the characters, always. This one was a little odd in that I think that must have been most people were dancing, because there were not a lot of lines for the attractions. Some of the photo ops lines were pretty short. I mean, any of the characters had a really long photo line, but not so much at some of the backdrops. So we got a few pictures taken when we were doing that.
Yeah. Love the Tron background. That was pretty cool. And just like you said, compared to most of the Disneyland After Dark, we were able to get a vast number of photo ops compared to normal. Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. The food was interesting. And I think back when I was, if you've listened to it or we used to run a catering company. At one point we were tabbed to do this party that was an 80s party. And, they wanted kind of 80s themed food. So I was like looking, okay, what is 80s themed food? Well, there isn't really a lot of food that you tie into the 80s. So the food options were a little odd going through there. There's like sloppy joes. So the food was a little, I don't know I don't know if it was really our favorite of the food nights of these things, but still, it was just a great time. And now we're building up to just a couple of weeks from now. They have a Disneyland After Dark Sweethearts Night coming up. They're going to have a couple chances to do that if you decide, and with just many more throughout the year. It really is a great time to go out and just enjoy the parks and get with people. It's just really, really fun.
It really is fun. And, even though it has an official start time, for example, this one was at 9:00, they do allow, if you purchase that ticket, to get in much earlier, like at 6:00. So you still get to see some of the other things going on in the park as they're closing that. The other thing that was really great was that Galaxy's Edge was open. Rise of the Resistance wasn't, but Smuggler's Run was, and Olga's Cantina and the shops and everything. So it was great. That was the first time they've had a Disneyland After Dark where that park was open. That part of the park was open.
Right. Yeah, it was really cool. We got to go into Olga's Cantina and get a cocktail, and Smuggler's Run was there. Could have done that. We actually didn't do any attractions. We just walked around and kind of people watched and danced to the music here and there, and just kind of had a good time. But you could have done Smuggler's Run if you wanted to. We nearly did, but it would have conflicted with our return time to Olga's Cantina and stuff. But great time. I highly recommend you going and checking one of these Disneyland After Dark evenings out if you have the opportunity coming up soon.
Yeah, definitely a great date night.
Yes, definitely so. So let's get now finally to our main topic of the week.
If you think you're some kind of brainiac, a know-it-all, some kind of a whiz, got more answers than an almanac. Let's take a quiz. If you think you're extraordinary, cut above the best that there is. If your cranial capacity is something scary, let's take a quiz. Let's all take a quiz. Oh, yeah.
So that's right. We're playing a little game with you today. We have the family here, and we are going to have some fun. And best yet, I get to sit back and relax as the wonderful game show host of the Hyperion Adventures podcast. Michelle takes over from here.
Well, thank you. Thanks for turning the reins over. This is going to be a fun show. Welcome, family. We're so glad to have you all here.
It is a
Even Luna chimed in there.
Yeah. So we're going to play a really fun, easy game of Would You Rather. Now, instead of doing like two yucky things, we're going to give you two favorable things. And then you describe which one you prefer and why.
The only thing is you have to do a Sophie's choice of something. You can only do one of them. So if you like them both, sorry, one's eliminated.
Yeah, so that might be the hard part about it. If you don't like the choices, you can opt for a bonus choice. However, you're stuck with that one. So, all right. And for our listeners, we hope that not only will this be a fun experience for you listening to our family, but also maybe learn some things, because we know not everybody has been to both parks, and we'll be talking a little bit about Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And so hopefully it's also an enriching experience for learning some tips on both coasts.
Yeah, I like it. Let's get to it. Let's
all right. So we'll start off with you, Tom.
Oh, wow! Right
just
out
so
of the
you
box.
can get it rolling.
Nice.
And
all right.
just
I wasn't ready for this. You didn't prepare me.
I know. I didn't prepare. You don't. So just to clarify, Tom
I was already putting my
these.
feet up. I was just ready to relax.
So Tom doesn't even know any of these choices. So okay, ready, Tom?
Sure.
Here's your first one. If you could only do one, would you rather do Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor at Walt Disney World, or the Haunted Mansion with Nightmare Before Christmas theme at Disneyland?
Why don't you give me a hard one? I mean, I'm sorry. It's the Haunted Mansion, both versions of it. I love the Laugh Floor, but the Haunted Mansion, either the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Haunted Mansion Holiday, or the regular Haunted Mansion is like my favorite attraction. Well, before Rise of the Resistance. It was my favorite attraction at Disney parks. So that's an
so
easy
you're
one.
saying if I made the choice with Rise of the Resistance, that would have been...
That might have been a little more difficult.
All right. Next up, we have Joyce.
Hello.
All right, Joyce. And this is going to be also two-coast question for you, since we were able to vacation in June together. Okay, Disney World, Tower of Terror, or Hyperspace Mountain at Disneyland.
Oh. We have a fond place in our heart for Tower of Terror, so I'm going to have to go with that one.
All right.
Yeah, that one is the best ride, and we just had so much fun. Josh and I went on it a couple times, so we had a great time there.
Especially now that it doesn't exist on California anymore. It's a different version of it now that's Mission Breakout.
Did you find it to be different at Disney World than what the Disneyland version was?
They had just different elements of the Twilight Zone theme, which I love. But the way that the carriage would go forward and take different directions as opposed to just the up and down, I don't know, it was just different, and we really liked it. It was fun, and the fact that we could just do back to back made a difference.
Nice.
It was fun.
Well, we do have pictures of that. Very awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you. All right. Next, the mic goes to Zachary.
Hello.
Hello, Zach. How old are you?
I'm 13 now.
All right. So you also had a chance recently to be able to go to Walt Disney World. I know most of your experiences has been at Disneyland. How was it at Disney World?
Oh, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Your question is actually Disneyland related, though, okay? Indiana Jones Adventure or Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout?
I'd have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy because
Really?
It's it's newer, so I've been on it a lot less than Indiana Jones.
Right.
And I just like I like Tower of Terror and how you went up and down, so I like Mission Breakout too.
Cool.
And you're a Marvel fan as well, so
Yes,
it's got to play a part
yes.
in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. What was your favorite thing at Walt Disney World?
Everything. It was great.
That's a good answer right
Yeah.
there. That's a good answer.
All right. Thank you very much. Now we're going to head to Patty, who is Tom's mom.
Hi.
Hi. All right. This is going to be kind of like a retro, old school kind of question. This is the first one.
You weren't going to ask her about the Tower of Terror
I
versus
know, right?
Expedition Everest or something?
Okay, Patty. Jungle Cruise at Disneyland or Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room?
Jungle Cruise at Disneyland. I went every year for years. whenever we would be, I would go like every month to Disneyland. That was one of the first things we do would be the jungle ride. We knew all the lines. We cheated and told them beforehand. It's just been a great memory.
So you know all the puns and stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
although I noticed the last time at Disney World that they had different lines. I don't know if they've changed them all over or not.
Mm.
Some of them have the same line. Some of them add their own color, the different skippers. That's why it's part of what makes the Jungle Cruise great is when you get a great skipper.
Right.
It's the best.
Do you remember a particular one of their jokes?
Back to civilization and the California freeways.
That's a good one.
Or the bargain. Two heads for one of yours.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
So, but I do like the tiki room too.
We all do.
But you could only do one.
Sorry.
All right. Joshua.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
Good. How old are you?
11.
11. Wow. And you also went to Walt Disney World in June.
Yes.
And you liked it?
It was really good.
Yeah. Did you like the hotels?
Yes, because I like the pint.
The cabins?
Oh yeah, the
Really?
cabins because it was just a lot of space for like a room. It
Right.
was kind of like, even though it was kind of small, but it was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And you, even though you were like right inside Walt Disney World, you had that feeling of kind of having some seclusion
Yeah.
and out in the wilderness, right? Awesome. Okay. So if I recall correctly, at Disney World, you kind of liked Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain at the Animal Kingdom, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. That or Incredicoaster at Disney California Adventure.
Oh, look at that face. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Well, that is a hard question, but I'd rather go with Expedition Everest because I like that it goes backwards and forwards, and it's more just like more thrilling roller coaster than
Right.
Incredicoaster.
True. Now you really worked it that day that you were able to go on it, 5 times, right?
4 or 3.
4?
Yeah,
Okay.
in a row.
What do you think? How were you able to do that so many times? I mean, that's a really popular ride. It's one that it's hard to get fast passes for. What was your tip there on how you made that happen so many times?
Well, part of it is that you planned it. And then,
Another good answer. Josh has the best answers.
Hey.
Josh has the best answers.
and the other times one time it was closed, so we went on there once it opened, and it was only like a 5-minute wait,
Nice.
and we got like an extra fast pass,
Awesome.
like a recent fast pass.
Yeah.
So I guess you should just get fast passes ahead if you really feel like going on it
Right.
a lot.
Right. And then keep your eye out for some things too, huh? Like if you see that it's down and you can kind of watch it, jump on it when it opens. Huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good advice. Thank you. Okay. Lexi.
Hello.
Hello. First timer on our show, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We really are appreciative that you're here. How old are you, Lexi?
I'm 9 and my birthday is March 19th.
Nice.
Coming up. Coming up.
Very cool. You have some fun plans for your birthday time, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I understand you're a Star Wars fan. A little bit,
Yeah.
right? A little bit?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's see if this one fits the bill. Star Tours or Splash Mountain? Tough one, huh?
Well, I guess it matters if it's hot
It's a good point.
Good point.
That's a really good
Very
point.
good point.
because if it was hot, then I'd choose Splash Mountain, but if it was cold, I'd choose Star Tours.
All right.
That's well said.
That
actually,
is well
yeah.
said. So have you done Splash Mountains multiple times in the same day?
Not really. I mean, I usually go on it once, but I also go on Star Tours usually once.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Tours is good. And they have the new scenes now from Rise of Skywalker.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You also got a chance to do Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Did you like that?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a fun run. Right? Did you get to fly it, or were you a gunner? Or
I went on it twice, and I was a gunner and a pilot.
nice,
Ooh.
how fun!
Which one did you like the best?
I'm gonna say pilot because I got to do more stuff,
Uh-huh.
and yeah,
Plus you're right there at the front, huh? And you're seeing it all happen.
yeah.
were you good at it?
I don't know.
Well, you made it off alive,
She's being
right?
humble. She's being humble.
Yeah, but that's a fun ride, huh?
Cool.
And Galaxy's Edge is a pretty cool land, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I I think the stormtroopers are really cool because they're coming around lecturing people.
Right.
And yeah.
They can look big and scary, though, huh?
No.
No, you're pretty brave. All right. So you bring your lightsaber just so you're ready and prepared in case?
I usually don't bring it, but I just
Use
Well,
the
I
force?
hear maybe your
There
parents
you
might
go.
flip the bill for a lightsaber to go build one there, maybe? I don't know. We'll see if that works out.
Yeah.
well, not yet.
Well, would they do it for me? Because I really want to build a lightsaber.
I know.
All right, Lexi, thank you so much for this first round. Can you hand the mic over to your dad? All right, Mr.
Hello there.
Mike,
How we
welcome.
doing? How we
and
doing?
how old are you? Oh, wait, I won't.
How old am I? I'm 45 years old.
All right, Mike, so you've been in Southern Cal for a long time.
45 years.
So I think we're going to give you a Disneyland question, all right?
Okay.
Okay, here's a would you rather Big Thunder Mountain Railroad or the Matterhorn bobsleds?
That's pretty easy. Big Thunder, because it's more fun ride in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
The bobsleds are jerky. They are uncomfortable. And I would say the only thing that's good about the bobsled ride, if I could be negative on this show, is I know this is
Where's the button?
two positive people on a podcast. The thing I do like about the bobsled, though, is the outfits that the people have to wear.
Right.
I like their outfits. And the scary monster that's kind of hidden in the background.
Yeah.
But I want more of it.
Ah.
And it's a Yeti. Thank you, Lexi.
Yeah.
So whereas the Thunder Mountain, there's a couple things. One, I think it's a better ride. Two, it was the first roller coaster that Lexi could go on, so that was kind of
Oh,
fun.
yeah. That'd be nice.
And then we could all sit together in like one row as a family, the three of us.
Right.
And I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sentimental. Yeah.
I'm glad you tied it up really nice.
With a
there.
heart.
Yes.
With a heart.
Now, to bring it back to positive, the Matterhorn was the very first Disney mountain, and it was the very first roller coaster with a tubular track.
True.
So there's some history behind it. I agree with you. It's jerky, and I can only ride it every once in a while. But
nice outfits, though.
It is history. Those outfits.
The
Yes.
great outfits.
And my mother was there when it opened. Yes.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. We're going to go back to Patty again. Yeah.
By the way,
didn't
Lexi
know we
wanted me
were
to
doing it
point out that
twice.
there is a basketball court inside the Matterhorn.
That's right. All right, Patty. This is a food question, a restaurant question. Disney World, afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian, or also at Disney World, Top of the World Lounge at Bay Lake Tower.
I would say afternoon tea, mostly because I don't remember really eating at the top of the world. I remember drinking at the top of the world. and
Well,
watching
that's pretty
fireworks.
We don't. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't drink. I don't know where this is coming from.
So although that was a lot of fun, I would say afternoon tea, more relaxing. Too.
All right. Excellent. Same question, Tom.
Oh, back to me. Oh, Top of the World Lounge. I love the Top of the World Lounge, mostly because of the drinking for the Top of the World Lounge. But we have had a chance to try some of the food up there. It's good. But the view for the fireworks and everything else, and just plus, being Disney Vacation Club members,
Right.
it feels like our exclusive little private
is.
area that we can only get into, and
Right.
flash our card, and they have to push the button for us to go up the elevator to get up there and everything. So there's that exclusivity part of it. that I
Right,
really love.
right.
So, yeah, I love tea too, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be.
Yeah,
Top of the
it
World
definitely has, a good atmosphere there. And like you said, the view, when it's time for fireworks, they dim the lights, they play the music as well to synchronize with the fireworks. And, it is very festive. Nice way to end your day.
For sure, for sure.
All right, Joshua.
Hello.
Hello again. Churro, any flavor, or corn dog?
I'm not really much of a fan of corn dogs, so definitely churro.
Ah,
Made it easy.
And I remember from the Pixar Pure had this really good churro called like the spicy churro or something.
Uh-huh.
And like they had like crushed like spicy candy, like Red Hots.
Wow.
On the churros, and that was pretty good.
Super unique.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right. We're going to Joyce.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Joyce.
Is it food?
It is
Yes.
food. It's actually dining location, but you can also share, like a favorite dish as well.
Yeah.
So lunch at the Sci-Fi Dine-In restaurant at Disney Hollywood Studios, or lunch at Tiffin's restaurant at Disney Animal Kingdom.
I am going to have to say the sci-fi. I honestly can't remember the food I ate there, but it was just the atmosphere, like the way that you walk in there and it feels like you're in old school drive-in.
Right.
It's like you've walked into the 1950s. That whole atmosphere,
Yeah.
it stayed with us. You
All
know,
Nice.
all the B-movie trailers and
Yeah.
stuff that are playing up. Yeah.
they were funny, and I think I took so many pictures just of that, and being able to
Right.
sit in what was like a car. It was great. I mean, the
Yeah.
food I think was good too,
Right.
but it was more about the atmosphere and kind of sharing that with all of you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have a favorite place that you dined? I hope I'm not saying
No,
anything.
no.
Do you have a favorite place at Walt Disney World?
That we went to Walt Disney World. Gosh, that was the atmosphere. I really liked. The long name, the Skipper, something.
Yes.
Jungle Navigation Company Limited Skipper Canteen,
Yeah.
I believe is
I
what it
really
is.
like that.
Yes.
But then also at Disneyland, when you guys have taken us to the little Italian trattoria up
Right.
there,
Right.
just to
Tasting
kind
room.
of get some. It feels like you've kind of gone to an outside area, outside
Right.
Disneyland, away from the crowds, where you can just kind of relax
Exactly.
and spend some time together. So
Yeah.
those are, I think, some favorites.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Nice,
Very cool.
nice.
Thank you, Joyce.
All right. Back to Lexi.
Hello.
Hello. So we already mentioned you were on Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Yes.
So would you rather do that attraction or soaring around the world?
Well, my mom would say Soarin'. But I would say Millennium Falcon because it's cool to fly all around the place, and I feel like it's just cool to fly it.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Nice.
Star Wars, I mean.
Yeah.
So great.
Are there any attractions at the park that scare you? Or are you just super brave and everything's good?
Well, at California Adventure,
Uh-huh.
I don't like the Tower of Terror or whatever it is.
Yeah. I know. That one's kind of intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm sort of okay with it now, but Indiana Jones scared me before.
Yeah.
I can see that. yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Has some
Yeah.
creepy things.
And that's it. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
You're much braver than I am, Lexi.
Yeah,
There's many
same.
rides
Same thing.
that scare me.
What rides?
We'll be here all afternoon
Yeah.
talking about the attractions that scare me.
All right, Chris.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Sorry, I fell asleep during
I
Mike's long
know.
analysis of his rides. That was like a 5-minute answer, dude. What are you doing?
Right. But he wrapped it up with heart. So all
Whatever,
good, all good.
whatever.
All right, we're going to start you easy. Toy Story, Midway Mania, or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes, I guess it wasn't so easy.
Actually, I was hoping for Heimlich's Choo Choo. Where was that?
I know, right? We so miss
Poured one
it.
out for Heimlich's Choo Choo.
Yeah, I missed that thing. We're going to go with Midway Mania just because I'm really good at it, and you should just play to your strengths.
Right?
Apparently no one buys that.
Joyce and I were pretty close in competition, but she's kind of been off her game the last 6 months. She hasn't been practicing.
Oh, man.
So now Zach's getting better. He's trying to challenge me, but I take him down all the time. So
No competition
Midway
here,
Mania.
I think Zach wants to rebut that statement.
Yeah, he's right. I have a feeling tomorrow you're going to have to,
Yeah.
have it on.
Yeah, the
Do it,
game
do
just
it.
never gets old, right? You just keep
Right.
playing and you try to find new things to get more points.
Exactly.
It's always fun.
Which what we understand with the new Spider-Man attraction,
something
it's
similar.
going to have some similarities in terms of
Oh, really?
shooting webs, getting points. And
Oh, nice.
Trying
Sign
to
me up.
capture, what are they, nanobots
Bots,
or nano
yeah.
spiders or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you might have another
Let's do it.
experience there. Okay, Zachary, back to you.
Hello.
Hello again. All right. I don't know if this one's going to be hard or not. So let's see. Radiator Springs Racers or Kilimanjaro Safari from Disney Animal Kingdom.
Oh, this is hard because they're both so different.
Right?
But I'm gonna have to go with the Kilimanjaro Safari because it's just so cool to see the animals up close.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
It is. It's one of my favorite things to do in Animal Kingdom for sure.
Right.
Just the animals are right. They do such a great job of making sure the animals are close to you, and you can. It's just a really fun. I know you love animals too.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's really a cool experience, and the buggy ride feels pretty authentic and things like that, right?
Yeah, it's really fun to go on and see all the animals.
Yeah,
Excellent.
awesome. Okay, we're gonna go back to your dad.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
All right, now this
Glad
one,
you didn't stray far.
Yeah.
this one might be the tough one.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, Epcot Frozen Ever After boat ride,
Ooh, hashtag.
or Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea
Oh,
Adventure.
You're making me cry
I
on,
know, right?
on a podcast.
For those of you who don't know, I've mentioned this a couple times on the show. Chris is my cousin by blood, but my brother in man tears.
Oh yeah, big fat man tears. Yeah. Well, Tom and I did have a very special cousin moment, skipping up to Frozen,
Right,
the ride at Epcot Center. We had a blast at Epcot Center, by the way.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna go with the Little Mermaid ride because
Nice.
it was very formative to my years when I saw that cartoon. And I've been in
Right.
love with Ariel ever since.
And who doesn't want to go through and hear your singing, right?
Yeah. Well, I think my wife Joyce just raised her hand.
All right, Mike. And this could be for you or Heidi. All right. Or maybe you have to have a consensus.
Okay,
right?
here I am. I'm 45 years old.
All right. All right. Art of Animation
Okay.
or Turtle Talk with Crush.
The Animation Academy.
Yeah.
We've never done art animation.
All right.
Bonus, please.
right.
Oh,
All
what?
right. Let's see.
I love Crush. Yeah, Crush is great.
All right.
I didn't know
Would
what the
you
other one was.
rather Peter Pan's Flight or It's a Small World?
Oh.
And let's say on this one, you
Can
have
I not
to go
like either
3
one of them?
times
Can I
in
go
a row.
negative again?
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. You don't like Peter Pan's Flight? I mean, I understand not liking the line, but that ride is fun.
Right. Yeah. So on on any of these, you get right on VIP access. Boom.
Well, I mean, Small World, I'm not going to do. It's too much of the song. It's the Small World. Boom! Way to go, Lex. The thing about Small World, when it's really hot outside, Small World is absolutely fabulous because it's cold inside. Right? I love that about Small World. It's my air conditioning. And Peter Pan, it's fine.
It's nostalgic, right? That's the word you meant to say.
No.
All right, well, let's get Mike on the positive side here.
Go positive.
What attraction?
What?
are
This
your
is how I
favorites?
feel. I can't lie about these two things.
No, I'm
No,
not
it's-
saying you should
yeah.
lie. I'm saying what attractions are your favorites? Maybe we're going not into your wheelhouse. Which ones do you enjoy going on when you visit Disneyland?
When I visit Disneyland, the ones that I enjoy are the haunted house. I would say I've always enjoyed that. I enjoyed that as a kind of a cool place to relax, and then it has the nostalgia that I've always enjoyed of that place. And then I would say Pirates of the Caribbean would be another one that has that sort of all feeling long years nostalgia as well. That it was so cool when I was a kid, and I remember having to always, when the fireworks were going on, always running back and forth. Because everybody was watching the fireworks, I would go on that over and over again.
Mike's tip of the day.
Yeah. So that's what I think of when it comes to that question.
Cool.
All right.
I did like Crush. You mentioned Crush.
Talk to
Yes.
Crush, yeah.
I got called on one time at Crush too.
Awesome.
And they completely made fun of me the entire time. And it was embarrassing but awesome at the same time.
Right.
That's the idea.
So it was actually that I've always loved that. It was always, and Lexi always liked it too. So it was kind of a cute thing to do for the youngins.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very
yes.
nice.
Anybody here ever done Grizzly River Run? Yeah? All right. So I'm going to do another Would You Rather. Are you up for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you rather do Grizzly River Run or Astro Orbiters?
Probably Grizzly River Run because unless it's a cold day. But
Yeah.
but then I would probably do Grizzly River Run
Uh-huh.
because it's fun going down, like it's fun going through the rapids. And
Yeah.
the
And getting all
water.
wet.
Yeah.
Did
I think
you
it's
get
fun.
really splashed?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We're going to end with one more for Tom.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. I don't know. This may be hard, or who knows? It may be easy. Tomorrowland's Transit Authority People Mover or the Skyliner gondolas.
Oh, that is tough. The People Mover's classic, and I miss it on the West Coast. So I
Right.
love the Skyliner. When we went in this last trip, it was a wonderful form of transportation, getting to and from the hotel to Disney's Hollywood Studios to
Right.
Epcot. But the People Mover is just the best. You get such great views of Magic Kingdom. You just get to relax, sit there, you're in the shade, and just explore the whole area. People watch. At night, it's even better as the whole park's
Right,
lit up. I love the People Mover so much.
All right. Well, give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Good job. Good job. You definitely are pros with the mic and pros with giving some great feedback. So we hope everybody enjoyed this and that they got to even hear some tips throughout the process. And I am now very happy to turn the reins back over.
Let's all take a quiz. Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun, boy, the family.
Yeah.
Great time with them. So thanks for them for taking part within the podcast itself. We really appreciate it. Some of you may have, if you've gone back, like some of them were a part of our June trip
Right.
to Walt Disney World and took part in it. So always fun to have them join in with us on the show.
Yeah, great addition. Great fun.
So, but let's quickly get to the Disney stories of the week. Always so many Disney stories to go through, and I picked out a few of them for you for this week. And I'm going to start with, there's an all-new way to experience your favorite web slinger coming to the Disneyland Resort very soon. This straight from the Disney Parks blog. As they revealed at the D23 Expo this past summer, Imagineers are hard at work to bring to life an amazing new experience with Spider-Man at Avengers Campus coming to Disney California Adventure Park this summer. Now, they're excited to share that guests visiting Disney California Adventure Park in the near future, you can tell I'm reading this straight out of the story.
No.
May be able to catch a glimpse of the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man himself swinging above the rooftops
Wow.
of Avengers Campus. So if you remember, you may have seen this on social media about a year, I think it was a little over a year ago, where they were showing this really crazy gymnastic audio animatronic. And I think it was actually in the last episode of the Imagineering story when they're
Right.
kind of showing what would they have going forward. Well, that's what this is going to be used for. They showed,
Wow.
there's a video, if you go to the Disney Parks blog right now, I may link to it on our show notes, that shows this same audio animatronic in the Spider-Man outfit flying through the air.
Wow.
It looks
So cool.
incredible, and I'm so excited to see this on Avengers Campus.
Looks marvelous.
Marvel us.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
How to cut a story,
Thank
right?
you for that. Very nice. So we don't know when Avengers Campus is opening up yet, but it is set to open up at the Disneyland Resort sometime this summer. Hopefully sooner rather than later. It's taking shape every time we go there. We
Right.
see a little bit more. We see a little bit more added to the buildings, and really, really looking forward to this. As Marvel fans that we are, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be a fun attraction there as well, and some of the food and drink sounds very, very interesting, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be crazy to see, Spidey flying through the air. I
Right.
mean, it'd be an audio animatronic, not like you see Tinkerbell fly through the air at
Right.
the Walt Disney World Resort, and obviously she's really flying,
Right.
Or maybe she's on a zip line, but she's probably really flying.
Yeah,
But you see her flying. This is going to be different. I mean, they're doing flips, and it's going to be crazy.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
really, really excited to see that. So that's cool. Moving on to Disney Cruise news. A Disney Cruise Line chef received a well-deserved honor this week.
Yay.
Yay. This from the Disney Parks blog again. You may know that Remy, one of the 2 adult exclusive restaurants on Disney Cruise Line, features subtle nods to Disney Pixar film Ratatouille and its star Remy. But did you know the menu in this French-inspired restaurant is curated in part by one of the world's 10 best chefs? Chef Arnaud, oh boy. Layemon.
Nice.
You tell it. You know you're French.
Oh my
Chef
gosh.
Arnaud. I think I got Arnaud right.
Right. Layemont.
Layemon. I got it pretty much right. Who would have thought it?
Layemont.
I would have betted against that. In a list compiled by Les Chefs and voted on by 2- and 3-star Michelin chefs, Chef Arnaud was recently named one of the world's best chefs based upon the values of the cooking profession and the exceptional cuisine featured in their restaurants. In addition to Remy, Chef Arnaud is world-renowned for his Michelin 3-star restaurant. Oh boy, here we go again. La Assiette? Assiette Champenois. I got Champenois yet.
All right, good job.
Just outside of Reims, France. So we've been to Remy.
Right.
It's spectacular.
Was the most amazing, unique, delicious, fabulous meal I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's
like it doesn't even compare to anything else.
Right. It's not. If you've ever been to Victoria and Albert's on the Walt Disney World at the Walt Disney World Resort, kind of on that same level, but because you're on the cruise ship, it's about half the price. It's still really expensive, but it's about half the price. He collaborates with Chef Scott Hunnell from the award-winning Victoria and Albert's, as we just talked about, to create a menu at Remy that features superior products and seasonal ingredients sourced from around the world. We did this, and what they do is you can pick a la carte if you want different items, or you can go through. They have the French
tasting
menu and the American Prix Fix menu.
Right.
And we did that. We each did one. That way we could sample both dishes, and they were both spectacular. There's very few dining experiences I've ever had quite like Remy on the Disney Fantasy. It's also on the Disney Dream.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think there's ever been anything I've had like that. And it's really hard to describe why, because it's not like the ingredients are unusual ingredients. It's just the way they prepare, the flavors that they capture from every little cell in the food, and the presentation. It's spectacular.
Yeah, and the service is wonderful.
Right.
It's really nice. It's great if you're on a Disney cruise and you can break away for a romantic night. It's wonderful for that. I mean, you could do it, with 4 people, two couples, or whatever the case may be, and that's great too. But it really is wonderful. It's just a romantic night. It's really a great atmosphere within this restaurant, and the food, the service, just top notch. It's really, it's hard to say, and you may look at the price and go, well, what would be worth that? I really believe that this is worth the extra money you pay for it.
Right. It's, if nothing else, it's a once in a lifetime splurge that you won't be disappointed about.
Right. Definitely so. I highly recommend it. Splurge, it may be your one splurge on your Disney cruise, but I still recommend it if you get the opportunity. So speaking of a Disney cruise, if you like luxury when you're on your Disney cruise,
which we do,
there are going to be more opportunities to experience a little bit of it coming to the Disney Magic. This from the Disney Cruise Line blog, which, by the way, if you're going on a Disney cruise, never done before, or even if you're a little bit experienced in it, Disney Cruise Line blog is a great place to get like past navigators, trip reports, all sorts of information that you might be looking for on a Disney cruise. I mean, obviously you can come to us as well, but he lays it out. I believe his name is Scott Sanders. He does a really great job of laying it out. We even go there regularly to check things out. So definitely check out that blog. Anyway, Disney Cruise Line announced 12 of the Disney Magic staterooms will be converted to Category 5 concierge family ocean view staterooms with veranda accommodations. These addition of these 12 staterooms will bring the total number of concierge staterooms on the Disney Magic to 44. So coming up here soon, you'll have even more opportunities if you've always wanted to do concierge. If you're more of a concierge sailor, you like to do that as often, you're going to have a better opportunity coming up on the Disney Magic soon.
Right. And we've done concierge and really enjoyed the extra special touches that brings along with it. And, it can really enhance, like you're saying, the luxury of the experience of the cruise ship.
Right. It is a huge jump up in price,
Yes.
just so you know, but you do get all sorts of little perks starting well before the cruise ever begins. You have your own concierge that you can kind of talk to or email back and forth with to kind of help set things up going in, especially if you have any celebrations or whatever the case may be. Booking different dining reservations, and if you're going to Castaway Cay and you've always wanted to do a cabana out there, the best way to get it is through that they can help book those for you. And then once you get on board, there's all sorts of stuff. You get the lounge with a wonderful coffee machine that you can go up to, snacks all day long. They have a cocktail hour every night. Just really, really wonderful service. Anything you're looking for, all you need to go up there and do is ask, and they'll handle everything for you. It's a splurge, and it's not always worth it, but if you're looking for that little extra luxury, a little extra kind of help when you're on your cruise, you may want to do it. It's fun.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, the furnishings and amenities will be upgraded gradually. These cabins will be officially opened as concierge cabins beginning on the October 2nd, 2020 sailing. Now, you may, if you have one of those cabins already booked, you may see some of the amenities change within it. However, you will not receive the concierge service until that October 2nd, 2020 sailing.
Right.
So
Very cool.
About that. So that's it for my Disney stories of the week. However, we never leave you without some sort of tip that might help you on your next vacation, whether it be on a Disney cruise, whether it be the Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, whatever the case may be. And we always start with Michelle, one, because she's this awesome game show host. Plus, she's just spectacular in every way, but she always has the very best tips. So let's get right to it. Here is Michelle's tip of the week.
All right. Well, my tip of the week really does go along with this last news story, which is about the concierge service. And, obviously, if you have that ability to book concierge in advance, it really does give you the ability to have a contact email location to make reservations. You can make additional dining reservations like at Palo or Remy's that you wouldn't be able to do more than like one per cruise. And so that is really wonderful. But the tip here is sometimes you might have an opportunity to do that without paying the high price. You won't be able to do in advance, but on the day of boarding, if you get to the cruise terminal early and check, if they've had cancellations or something like that, you may be able to nab a concierge room at a very significantly discounted price. You wouldn't have experienced the pre-boarding information and assistance, but once on the ship, you'll get all the perks of concierge at a much lower rate. And we actually were on a cruise one time with somebody who had an interior cabin and upgraded to concierge at the terminal.
What a leap, yeah.
And, talk about a really wonderful experience for them. So it's not a guarantee, and in order to increase your chances, you need to get to the terminal early. But that's an opportunity that you might really get to have that splurge experience at more than half the cost.
Right. If you were to book it, what the price is there. I mean, you will still be paying a pretty high price to get one of those cabins, especially it all depends on where you're upgrading from. Obviously, if you're upgrading from an inside cabin to one of these concierge cabins, it's going to be a much larger jump in price than if you already have, like, say, a family ocean view, with veranda or whatever the case may be. That will be a little bit. And he also, by the way, this also, yes, it goes for concierge. That's great, but you can also upgrade at port if you're going to any category.
True.
If you want to go from an ocean view to a balcony, if you want to go from an inside to an ocean view, or an inside to a balcony, check if go up there. All you got to do is ask, and they'll give you like what the price would be to move to these other categories and see if there's one that fits within your price range that you would like to do.
And they do have great signage at the terminals to show you where to go, which, person to go talk to about that.
And they will also have a sign out if there are no upgrades available, because sometimes the ships sell sold out.
Right.
So there may not be anything available, but just going into it, don't plan on upgrading when you
Right.
book your cabin, make sure you book a cabin that you are willing to spend your whole cruise in,
Right.
because you don't know that the upgrade will be available to you. However, it is a nice perk when you can get that nicer cabin for a little bit less price than you've paid ahead of time.
Right. And one of the things that we do when we're considering something like that is we have in our mind a price range of what we would go up to if an upgrade would be
And then
available.
we always go a couple hundred above that.
True. But, that's another way that you can approach it, is to say, okay, I know that we'll spend this much additional cost if this type of upgrade is available.
And think about it too when you're doing it. I mean, when you're thinking about upgrading, look at the money and also think about what the things you could do without having the upgrade
Right.
on the ship and spend it. So weigh those options before you go into doing it. So.
Right. That's a good point, because the upgrade might not be that much different in terms of all experiences.
Right. Whereas you take that money that you would have spent on the upgrade cabin and go to Remy, go to
Right,
Palo, go to some of these tastings, whatever the case may be, whatever you enjoy, so just weigh those options, find out what's right for you, and then make the choice when you get on board. So
Good point.
there we go. So Michelle always has the best tips. Always
you.
has the best tips.
You're sweet.
My tip for the week, I'm going to go back to our Disneyland After Dark 80s night experience and just kind of talk about if you have something coming up for a Disneyland After Dark in the future. And if you have an annual pass, obviously you're paying an extra price to go into these parties. Okay. Know that right out. And so, you can weigh whether that's the best option for you. But the good thing about if you have an annual pass or if you have a ticket ahead of time is you can go into the park whenever you want. And this includes after the part where they've already opened it up for the party guests. So
Right.
usually it's like 6:00. And instead of waiting in that long line that is just specifically for the party guests at the front gate, use your ticket, use your annual pass, and go in through these other gates, because those will be very little line.
Right.
You won't have to worry about, people are not going, they know in the park's going to close at 8 or whatever, so there really aren't as many people going in. You can zip in there, and there's always a place within these parks where you can actually check in for the party
True.
within the park itself, so you can kind of bypass that line going in and take advantage of having that annual
True.
pass. And so we did this. It was for this last party. We went in. Actually, there was a long line at the Mickey and Pat Friends and the Pixar Pals parking structure for security. So we walked over and took the monorail in. We went and used our annual pass, took the monorail in to Tomorrowland. It actually worked out really great because where they were checking people in for the party was at the Star Wars launch bay. So right there next to the
so
monorail.
convenient.
Yeah. And so we just jumped in that line, much shorter line, checked in, got all the stuff we want. Even there were some great backdrops there where we can get some pictures with very little lines before the party even started.
Right.
So really helped. And if it's over at Disney California Adventure Park, usually it's at Blue Sky Cellar. So if you know kind of where that area is, kind of next to the Wine Country Trattoria,
Right.
They usually check in people there. Just kind of, but you can ask around. If you don't know where it is, just ask some of the cast members. They will probably be able to point you in the right direction as to where you can check in for these events if you're already in the park.
Right. No, that is a great tip because, like you said, the lines to enter into the park specifically for people who are going to the party only do get really long. And so having that other option, if you have an annual pass, is definitely a win.
Yeah, they get long because not only one, they look at your ticket, whether it be on your phone or whether you have it in some other way, whether you printed it online or whatever the case may be. They check your ID to make sure it matches up with it. Then they have to print up a new ticket and take your picture for it. So these lines begin to back up because it's a longer process to go through. And then you go in and you get your wristband, you get your lanyard and all that stuff. So if you have another way into the park, take advantage of it when you go.
Definitely.
So cool. That's it for this week. Next week, well, we're going to be moving into Valentine's week. So we are going to move back into one of our 5 favorite categories. We love the 5 favorite categories, and we want to have your help on this one as well. We're going to do our 5 favorite Disney love songs.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to that.
there's so many great actually Disney love songs. You think about, some of these movies and you think, oh, they're funny. There's great inspirational music, as we
Right.
talked about a couple weeks ago. There's some dance party music, as we've talked about several episodes back. But there really are some great Disney love songs, and we'd love to know your 5 favorite. Feel free to contact us with them, and we'll share them on the show.
Yeah, and we love the participation too, and you help inspire us. But yeah, I think this is going to be kind of a tough one to narrow down to 5.
They always are, which we never truly narrow them down to 5.
6.
Yeah, 5A, 5B,
No,
5Z.
who does that?
Yeah, never happens. Never happens. Also, we're heading up to the Walt Disney Studios for a screening of The Three Caballeros right there on
Yeah.
the lot. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that and that experience as well. That's always fun going
Yeah,
and see a
that's a
movie
real
right
treat
there
there.
on the Walt Disney Studios lot. So we appreciate you joining us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you find podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there, why don't you just go ahead and sign up for the newsletter?
Dude, the funky newsletter.
The funky newsletter, yes. It's very funky. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. And if you ever want to contact us, including with your list of your 5 favorite Disney love songs, you can email us at HyperionAdventurespodcast@gmail.com.
Right. And you can also DM us in the social media world.
Yeah, anywhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Right.
We have a lot of fun on social media. Please join in with us out there on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Et cetera, et cetera.
et cetera, et cetera. Not on TikTok yet. I think we're going to get on TikTok.
We'll see.
You keep seeing more on TikTok. And eventually we're going to get to that YouTube channel. We were just talking about it today.
Yes.
Eventually we're going to get that YouTube channel. Eventually this podcast is actually going to be up to, you're going to be able to watch us, as scary as that may seem, on YouTube as well. We'll get to that later. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to the Hyperion Adventures podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you again next week. Until that time, I'm Tom.
I'm Michelle.
And we hope that you have a magical week.